Welcome. Welcome to this presentation on employee surveys from Workplace Catalyst. You'd have heard of surveys, wouldn't you? Well, usually HR or customer service professionals have a responsibility in conducting surveys. At the workplace and perhaps in television, there's also from service providers like insurance companies, hotels, or anywhere where you've experienced service. We often fill survey forms in pen or pencil or online on the web. In this video, we wish to open you up to the purpose of employee surveys at the workplace and perhaps the kinds of benefits you should expect from them. My name is Joseph. I'm glad that you will take a few moments to review your understanding of workplace surveys here with me through this short video pack. My doctoral thesis was on the evaluation of organization development based change. That it involved the design and administration of at least 9 major survey scales unique to the case study that I researched. So, both quantitative measurement and its embedding in qualitative research enable me to make some of the points that I am about to make here. Surveys may appear common sense at first appearance. However, oversimplification can defeat simplicity by a huge margin in actual practice. On the other hand, complexity may be academically adequate, but practically short of benefit to the survey user. As you read our featured survey experience, you may glimpse our commitment to the range and variety of workplace opportunities for surveys. Survey design, administration in online and offline formats, analysis and reporting of data are all experiences that you can bank on with us. Generally, our clients have a major say in the kind of infrastructure that are to be used for surveys. Managements have a role in making employee respondents feel at ease. It is in the instrumentation and calibration of surveys that you will find us responsible and reliable partners. Reliability of scales is yet another feature of employee surveys. We will guide you in the validity of variables in light of your workplace context and survey objectives as well. So let's get to perspective you may value even more. Is performance not that turn on that brings on your management's delight and the satisfaction of your employees that they are you doing useful work? Shareholders and customers tend to flock around organizations whose products or services have yield from performing employees. Employeeship is no market gimmick or ornamental value. It is the essence of the relationship between employer and employee from which individual and organizational effectiveness follow. Here are some evidences for what an engaged workforce may mean for business performance and how culture itself is related to performance. Longitudinal studies by Heskett and Cotter are legendary reference to the salient aspects of employeeship on organization performance. Now you may wonder, what ails survey practice in organizations today? Well, here's a brief take, and I make about 5 points here. 1. The method of survey design and match with objective is glossed over without the scrutiny of science. Point number 2. Social transaction loops like hierarchical approvals trump the knowledge and expertise that are required to gainfully deploy surveys. This often lands organizations on fashion ramps rather than in fitness clubs. In other words, if the objective is to buy image and employer reputation, surveys are not the method, but could end up as mere instruments of abuse. Remember the book In Search of Excellence? Which of the companies on that list are still prospering today? But if the objective is to diagnose organizational effectiveness, surveys need to be instrumented to the context of employee experience. Point number three, information overloads reduce the chances of focus in the survey method and post survey actions at the workplace. With increasing complexity at work, you can just about imagine how important this point is. Point number four is about cognitive numbness. When emotional overloads pass by undetected, what happens is that the choice of variables to be measured are truly compromised. Point number five, employees suffer from survey fatigue and their responses are not even checked for internal consistency of scale. This reduces the reliability of social perception measures, far different from the degree of fit of phenomena that online data analytics get into. So, why would employers still want surveys at all if it's also complex? Yes, it's complex, but not complicated. There are a range of reasons along a defense and attack continuum for which to use surveys. If the purpose is morale tackling defense, surveys may tap into early warning indicators of workplace ethics and safety. If the purpose is to get lead indicators of performance, then the survey could look for linkages between role efficacy and strategic mission, for example. We recognize here that you would have your own special reason for why you would like to conduct an employee survey. Well, a direct two-way conversation is a great way out for this, wouldn't you agree? We're happy to talk to you and design with you an experience that you will remember. So, with so much said, let's look at some generic aspects of surveys in organizations that are experienced yet not clearly enough or voiced enough. Where in this iceberg do you see your organization's reality? Which part of the iceberg do you relate to? Do you end up sweating over non issues when the real stuff lies elsewhere and passes by undetected again? Surely then, science and practice needs to have provided some answers to this thus far. One such model comes from Workplace Stars LLC in New York. They believe that yank and rank mentality for surveys is measurement that becomes a fool's errand. We recommend that if you do not wish more than a standard trusted model, then go for the premise that stewardship and engagement should result in service behaviors. If you find service behaviors far in excess of stewardship or engagement, you have an early warning sign of burnout already lurking around the corner. If stewardship perception exceeds service behaviors, then there's much in orchestration of engagement practices that need to be styled to the organization's benefit. But surely the clearer benefit of this model is that key performance indicators are not to be confused with measurements from surveys. They're not a substitute for each other. They are to be seen along with each other and sensed for alignment. Science should help you exhaust all perceptual categories that employees experience through relationships with colleagues at the workplace. Art should help you design for such measurements. Conventionally, most surveys ask respondents to rate opinions on a 1 to 5 scale. Some surveys offer a can't say option so that employees have a way of responding if they really do not relate to the survey item. Typically, companies get into the habit of contrasting annual survey scores as if these measurements were like temperature or blood pressure readings. The practice is a misconception rather than a matter of emulation. A metaphor should not be taken for actual form. Firstly, social phenomena are not pure science absolutes. Secondly, even physically, the employee samples change in character because its size varies, the composition varies, and even the age of the sample may have something to do with the maturation of response. Besides, respondents change their understanding of their opinions to the same phenomena that are being asked in the survey, and errors in such linear interpretation are easily overlooked. Let's get to another issue. For example, consider the mean score of 2.92 on the exploitation, exploration, innovation continuum. If you were to study the spread of this perception further, how would you know the reasons for this spread in this sample? Most surveys in the market portray mean scores as absolutes to be bettered year on year. Well, antecedents and consequences of such employee beliefs require further understanding in the context of the organization. Here's another example. In a recent sample, we found that perceptions of how long it takes to achieve mastery in one's profession significantly differentiated the sample. Further still, each sample could be a bundle of belief systems. We help our clients with statistical factor analysis so that actionable areas are suitably invested in. Suffice it to say that every sample represents a theme. So let's visit some key assumptions for employee surveys. Firstly, high performance and workplace engagement are complementary goals. Achieving high performance and workplace engagement involves distinct practices and behaviors. High performance is strengthened through support for customer orientation, quality emphasis, learning or training, and employee involvement. Workplace engagement is strengthened as leaders build confidence and trust among employees, display recognition and respect through stewardship, support growth and development through engagement, and match work assignments to abilities and interests. High performance and workplace engagement creates that synergistic effect that unleashes energy in the work system. So, the predictors of success are normally a hybrid approach, and the lead indicators of enterprise results illuminate a clear path forward for enhanced success. Usually, high performance cultures are built on a compelling vision, shared values, and mutual accountability to each other. While the implications are that performance excellence and workplace engagement represents a huge benefit that survey measurements can deliver to organizations. In summary, therefore, I'd like to say this that it's easy to get lost in an information deluge and defeat the process and purpose of employee surveys. We will ease your cognitive strain in this respect. It's not the technology of survey hosting as much as the technique in surveys that makes for value. Oversimplification can defeat the value of simplicity in survey experience. Each sample is unique. Expertise and experience are both critical to your survey mission. Performance excellence and workplace engagement bear intangible roots, even if financial outcomes are generally tangible in nature. So, with so much said, I hope you got the opportunity to review your understanding of workplace surveys. We're hoping that you'll drop us a line and just write to josepphg@workplacecatalyst.com. Be sure you'll get our response. Thank you.